tower blocks of golden sun sat Kenneth the acolyte of doom. For it was his kind that the dark elders turned to, gullible fools to turn the blind eye to common sense. In the afterglow of the fires of hate that burn deep within their hearts, of all that is good in the people's soul of delight, why then do the dark druids turn the blind eye to the people's strength, and only see the numbers eating their earth of the riches God-given rights, or so they believe in their warped, deluded minds. What then of Kenneth the fool? What of his love of power, lording it over his minions in an unshamanic deep blow to democracy's show of strength, by reducing it to a right-wing haze of a deep, deluded show for the rich to thrive at the people's expense? Who are the dark druids? Not of old Albion they be, but Norman fools and thieves they be. With the Zionist scum they plan the doom of us all. Not just the Muslim few, but the Christian and pagan too. So don't be fooled by their words of bitter condemnation of the Palestinian freedom fighter as a whole. For in the mind of the rebel lives the will of utopia. The media are the dark druids, and depraved they be, for they are of one with the global dark banker's mind, that they pervert their journalist views and cover up the dark one's sins. Pawns on the chessboard, the rich stockbroker plays the dark druid's game by robbing the poor of all of their wealth and shaming Robin in his Sherwood dream that the poor can thrive when given the chance, and not condemned like worthless white trash, destined to die under a dystopian moon. In the tower blocks of golden sun sit the dark lords of earth and kind, not alike to the people's night, but twisted bitter by shames of greed, that they think we crave their ill-gotten gains, when all we want is utopia's dream. In the heart of London stands a tower invisible to all but the dark druid kind. And in that tower they do conspire the death of democracy as we know. With 500 million souls living in a delusional utopia. With robots as slaves, they don't need the people. So part of the 500 million we are not, but the wretched trash destined to fall under a darkness so sweeping that all are encompassed by that fire of doom. I can hear the devil conspiring with the dark druid kind of a vision so bleak that the fools think they will avoid the pitman's wrath. When they send 7 billion sheep to the wicker man's fire, only the blind could conspire in such a way. The doom of mankind in their disgraceful mind. What of an earth with 500 million fools? Surely the alien kind will take over our land. In an interstellar conspiracy, only the dark druid kind could imagine their vainglory of an egotistical doom of the intellectual fools who with no common sense, but with an implanted daze, they rush to ensure the doom of mankind in an unshamanic blaze. Have our politicians committed planetary treason by conspiring in such a way that the very doom of mankind is near, with a vision so dark being ignored by an orgasmic flow of deluded beliefs of the dark, dry kind, that the implant can save them from the people's wrath. What of the dead man's show? Awake to all the dark druid plans. The dead man whistles a song so sweet that the very dead will rise to meet his gaze, and rise as one to prevent the doom of us all, and destroy the Tower of the Midnight Sun.
I was born under a dystopian moon, destined to sing of utopian dreams. Yet when I look out, all I see is the dead man's doom of an empire so distant yet so near, that all I know are dead. Dead under this dystopian empire of the sun. When I walk the streets of my land, I see hope undiminished. I also see the strength in the working class's eyes, that they live in poverty yet can still smile. I see my friends suffer under this government mindset of money for the rich at the people's expense, while the banker steals from all. What I don't yet know is when the protest will come, as I sit in my earthen home condemned to die under this dystopian moon of lies from the state, repeated by the media, of words so sick that the gods frown. What I see on the news worries me, of words of praise for the rich while they shaft our land, condemned to die under a dystopian moon. I see hope in the few, await that more could join this war. But how long do we have left before the darkened ones come, while the protest will never come? I hide my feelings in my boots as I walk this land, of feelings of repugnance for the rich man's game of greed, a perversion to the soul that corporations must by law cast people aside for profits immune. I see greed in the banks, politicians and the clowns who never know the true love of a planet and her species that the gods love with undiminished gifts, of the gift of free knowing and the gift of free actions. But beware, for we are judged for our journey when we die, as all souls get judged when they pass over. I watch the dead man's show and see it for what it is, a show of power by the state as well as the dead man himself, that he whistles so sweetly that the dead will rise and fight this good fight to free our very lands from the fate of the empire of the dystopian sun.